Oh, there we are.
What's going on, guys? Impromptu Sunday night live stream. Oh, it looks like we just lost Mark. Hopefully he'll be back with us here in a second. Always some kind of technical difficulty. It's not like we're in the technology sector or anything. I swear to God. There's always some shit going on. Mark completely froze. Well, I'm John Maz, John Mazzarella, the Big Cheese. Kind of just a fun impromptu live stream. Put out a few videos this week. Wanted to talk about them. Wanted to talk about what's going on in the crypto space a little bit, what we're doing with our facility and our farm as we grow and as we expand, and just kind of answer questions and kind of give you guys a more in-depth schedule in what's going on with us. Mark is I love the background. Mark. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't even know. My green screen's back there. I can't even, like, nothing's working right now. It's hilarious.
It's all right. I mean, Gandalf was here earlier, but it has since left. Let me refresh the feed over here as well.
It's still not working. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna reboot real quick.
All right, no problem. I'll do a juggling trick or entertain somehow. So I guess we could talk about the group buy. We've had a couple successful group buys with coastalcryptomining.com while we're waiting for Mark. We've been trying to implement these group buys just to kind of help out with some of the pricing before the bull market kind of takes off. We feel that we're kind of rounding the bottom of the barrel here with in terms of the bear market. So we've tried to do the best we can to negotiate some lower prices and get some equipment out to you guys as quickly as we possibly can at a reasonable low price. We've been taking inquiries from polls and everything else from Twitter and YouTube, what kind of machines you guys are looking for, and we're doing the best we can to get those prices as low as we possibly can and get them to you guys. We've got some interesting stuff going on with the farm, looking at multiple properties. We have closed on one property with a 5 megawatt substation. We're looking at another property with the better power system already in place. And we're opening up pretty much the floor to whoever wants to host with us. The more people that host with us, the more leverage we have dealing with the power companies and getting our rate as low as we possibly can. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. If you guys are interested in hosting with us, what our contract looks like, what what does it entail, what kind of comes along with the contract, because unlike a lot of other hosting facilities out there, ours is just a flat rate. There is no fluff. What you get, what you see is what you get kind of situation. And that includes, maintenance and setup and assistance and whatever else you guys need. We're here for our customers. We try to be, between Mark and I, here as much as we possibly can for you guys. So yeah, we'll go over that. I know that I'm sure you guys have tons of questions about the new firmware from Hive. We got some interesting news going on with that. I'm going to share that with you guys. If you haven't caught videos that I posted, that's all right. They were very crappy. There are some better ones coming out. We have some stuff to talk about when Mark gets back. I don't want to just kind of dive into everything and anything all at once. Let's kind of make it last a little bit, right? So I do want to say thanks to everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. Our subscriber count has jumped up quite a bit in the past couple weeks. You guys are awesome. It means a lot, to us. We're not YouTubers professionally. This isn't something we do. We just felt that we wanted to share our journey with you guys. We wanted to share what was going on. We wanted to let you guys know how things were going with us, and it seems to be taking off a little bit with you. So we appreciate everything and everybody. So you guys are awesome. While we wait for Marcus, we can kind of go over the latest group buy that we have going on. That would be the Jasminer 4XQ. I believe that is the 1040 mega hash model. We do have access to the other ones, but that's the one that we have underway or under contract with the group buy. So if you guys are interested, let us know. That is direct invoicing, so you can avoid a lot of the headache of going through the website with PayPal and credit card processing and taxes and all that shit. Mark's back. Yay, I'm just rambling here, Marcos.
Yeah, no, I was
Save me.
The camera screwed up, and then Windows decided that it would be a good idea to update as I was trying to fix it. So
awesome. That's all right. I mean, people are just starting to roll in now, so that's okay. We are going to start going live midday Wednesday. So set your watches, set your calendars. That's kind of what we're planning on doing. We're also going to be doing a live stream with Hobbyist on that following Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. I think it's around 9 o'clock. He's going live, 9 p.m.
Oh, nice.
I think so.
I thought I saw something like that. I haven't been in that chat for a minute.
Yeah, I don't get it's weird. I have so many different messaging apps on my phone that when one goes off, I don't know which one it is. So, no, that's Wednesday 9 p.m. Sorry. So the 6th at 9 p.m. 6th at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be live on the Hobbyist Miners channel and talking about some of his findings with the L7. Exciting stuff.
Well, do we want to go over it now, or do we want to hold off and wait until his live stream? I mean, I think
we can go over it a little bit.
If I recall correctly, we might have been the first to actually push content out on it from what I've seen.
I tried my best to get it out as quickly as possible, and you can clearly tell by the crappy video quality that I've uploaded. I don't know what happens. It's some days are good days with the screen capture and recording, and other days just suck. So, but we got something up. I did put a short out, and we had a 2-part video about the firmware. But it was
that one video where it shows you put the SD card in and got everything. I mean, literally bare bones. That's exactly what you need to do. So it's not like you put any fluff in there. You're like, dude, I can do this in 5 minutes. Boom. And it literally was done.
Yeah, it's not super complicated, and I try to point that out to people. There are more in-depth tuning options and frequencies and all this other fluff and bullshit that go involved when you put third-party firmware on machines. But this firmware, so far, what we have seen has made a huge difference on L7s. And we've talked about it prior live streams, how important firmware is and good firmware is for these machines. And it brings new life to them. We've been going back and forth with Hive for a while, and we finally got our hands on the firmware. We weren't allowed to talk about it until they launched it, but we have been playing with it. But it's been fun. It's been some interesting stuff. The Hobbyist is going to do a full breakdown on efficiencies. We've given him access to one of our machines at the farm. So he's actually going to do a breakdown on the Hive web interface and how to tune and go through all the BS that's there with Hive. Because there's a lot there. There's a lot going on, not just quick tabs or auto tuning. There's intricate command prompts that you can actually put in for ASICs through Hive, which is really nice. But I'm excited to see what kind of information he's able to pull out of these machines. This firmware is a generic firmware for all variants of the L7. So I thought that was a pretty key thing to talk about, because when you go through the firmware, you see some of the consumptions or what the projected consumption is for overclocking or undervolting. It's very vague, because the machines range from 8,800 all the way up to 9,500, right? 93.
Yeah.
So
what I noticed too about the Hive's firmware versus like just the OG Bitmain is that it appears things are a little bit more stable.
yes.
So
Yes.
if efficiency is great and all, but this is a very efficient Doge miner as it is, especially once you put it into low power mode. But I think just watching Hive's firmware and where the pool sits, or where it's sitting on the pool, it does appear that it is a lot more stable than what it was just on Bitmain's firmware.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely. It was a weird time. Right now is a very weird time for ASICs. The L7s kind of started it with the Silicon Lottery type of situation. The S19J Pros, the L7s, and now we're seeing issues with the E9s that just came out and the KA3s. So it's a very strange time for ASICs. It seems like Bitmain and some other manufacturers are just trying to get shit out to sell it, and after they're hoping that companies like Hive or Brains are going to step up to the plate and fix the issues that they're just kind of slapping chips in machines and see what happens. Because the firmware from Bitmain is very, very basic. There's not a lot to it. There are some developer backdoors you can get into the firmware, but you need specialty equipment to do it. With Hive, with Brains, with Luxor, even, I'm not a fan of Luxor, but even with some of these third-party firmwares, they unlock those backdoors to give you guys access to them, which is awesome. To give us access to them to make sure these machines run a little bit more stable.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Blue
I'm having
Moon.
a problem with my my video here, and I don't know if it's like bad on your end or if it's just my end. I don't know.
It's a little delay, but it's not bad. I mean, I really have
Okay.
to focus on it, but it's not too bad.
So weird. I have internet connected directly in, and then maybe I just need to change this.
Too many tabs open.
I don't know. I closed a bunch of tabs.
Blue Moon, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
so
we'll get. Go ahead.
with what Blue Moon did there, downloaded the Hive OS website. We are trying to expand our relationship with Hive, and they gave us some of their firmware with basically, our referral code encoded into it. So if you guys or those that follow us, if you do download the firmware from our website for Hive OS, or just ask for us directly and we can give you a copy of it. This does help us. It also helps, you're supporting us by doing this. But then also it helps strengthen our relationship with Hive, showing that, hey, we're spreading the word, all the good, the good fun stuff. Um, and it's one community member helping another community member, and essentially we're all growing together. So it does us a real solid if you do that. We have put all of the firmware that we have access to or that we play with on our website. The L7 here will be coming soon. So again, doesn't cost you anything other than what Bitmain, or not Bitmain, Hive OS has said, what their dev fees are, and basically, again, you help us help you with this firmware. So appreciate that you're actually taking it from our website. And in full
Yeah,
transparency, we tell you like, hey, our affiliate code is encoded in this. So if anybody knows how Hive's affiliate program works, everybody gets a little bit of piece of the pie when you use an affiliate code with Hive.
yeah, yeah. There's a max percentage that Hive Dev Fee is involved, and there are ways to reduce that dev fee. I mean, we've had a couple questions in previous videos about the dev fee. I mean, if you use their pool, there's a little dev fee. If you use Hive OS with the Hive website, they've lowered the dev fee. So there's a bunch of different things that go on with that dev fee. But with our version of it, what we did, we had the option to, again, transparency. They came to us and we've been having this conversation with them. They said, well, do you want to add on any additional percentage for you guys? We said, no, we don't want to change what you guys are already pulling out for dev fee. So what the website says for HiveOS for their dev fee and how they regulate it is what we kept. We didn't change anything. We didn't have, we had the option to, but we said we didn't feel that wasn't right to you guys or to anybody that uses our referral for the HiveOS firmware. But just be careful because there are other versions of Hive out there that they have jacked up the dev fee in different instances. So if you're not getting it directly from the Hive website or from a trusted source, be careful of where you download it from.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. Be careful.
I don't know if it did fix it or didn't fix it. I don't know what the hell I just did, but it seems like I'm back to normal. Maybe.
Yeah, you don't have that like 1960s, 70s Godzilla, going on.
To you and I. Kung Fu.
Yes, your latency is good.
Speaking of latency, actually we have a client that is having an issue with one of their E9 Pros, and we feel like it might actually be a latency issue. We've been troubleshooting with them, trying to figure it out. The E9 Pro right now does not really seem too friendly. You can catch John's video with his full review of the E9 Pro, kind of going over all of the unstable hash rates and things like that. But and he even makes a comment of the trouble that I had connecting the E9 Pro to pools. It doesn't seem like the pools are having, or a lot of pools are actually supporting the E9 Pro at the moment. I know FlexPool says that they do support, especially dual mining. I have yet to get an E9 Pro actually connected to FlexPool. So if FlexPool ends up watching this, please reach out, troubleshoot with me, and see if we can get that working. But it seems like latency is becoming a big issue with these specific machines, and I'm thinking that it's probably because the pools are just limited amount of pools are supporting them. So that's something maybe we need to look into and consider with these E9 Pros.
I think it's a lot, not just the E9s, but a lot of the other ASIC style ETC miners or ePash miners. I don't know if it's a firmware issue, if it's a DAG file issue, or if it's some kind of spoofing on the control board for the DAG file. I mean, we have an E3 that we run in zombie mode, and it has less issues connecting to pools than the E9 does, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's an issue with chips on board, maybe some internal memory issues with the E9 that need to be sorted out. But yeah, with us going through these log files for this customer's E9, it's definitely having some latency issues connecting, or it'll connect and then a board will drop off, and it's not, the timing is off between the checks for each board or each ASIC chip or each chipset, because they're not really ASICs. They're closer to like FPGA chips than they are to ASICs. So I don't know if it's just a timing issue where it's not checking it and uploading it fast enough between the control board, the chip, and the pool. But depending on which pool you're on, it definitely seems to be some serious issues coming out with these E9s.
It could be the firmware too. I know Bitmain has already provided new firmware for the E9, specifically for ETHW versus ETC. I know that the one that we did for the review for our client, I had to update the firmware to get it to stop rejected shares. That could be a thing that's involved in the machine. So there's a lot of different things with the E9 Pro. Just kind of going over, I don't know, some of the issues that are proceeding, and now we're getting feedback from our client. Some clients have purchased from us and we're troubleshooting with them. So keep an eye out. If you end up buying one, there may be issues you got to troubleshoot. Now, I know with all ETC miners, regardless of model, make, shape, or size, they do take a while to start booting up, and that is the FPGA process on this particular machine. iPolos do it, Jazz miners do it. The E3 used to do it a lot until we threw it into zombie mode, and that might be the magic or the keys to get these things to stop doing that. The
A10s, A11s.
Yep. They do it. They're notorious. The Innosilicon is probably the worst by far on what I'm about to talk about, but the E9 and the E9 Pro also do it, and they take roughly about 10 to 15 minutes to even show what's going on. You can go on the miner log, and it gives you a little bit more up-to-date information as to what's figuring out, but most of these machines don't have a miner log that you can just jump into. They basically, you have to do some backdoor or something along those lines to get into to figure out what the miner is actually doing. But then all of a sudden, 10, 15 minutes later, you notice, okay, boom, hash rate's spiking up. It's where it's supposed to be. Things are hashing. I'm getting accepted, actual accepted shares versus just showing get work. So a lot of different things when you're ETC mining on an ASIC that takes place, and you just have to be aware of your machine's not broken. It's just taking some time. And all of the machines, Innosilicon being the worst out of all of them, usually take about anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to get booted up. Innosilicon can almost take 20 in most cases. The A10 is just horrendous when it comes to connecting to a pool and getting up and running, or if you have to reboot it, things like that. This thing almost seems like it's a Commodore 64, and it just is slow, obnoxious, and just doesn't want to boot. Blue Moon Mining brings up he wants us to talk about the X6S. What do you want us to talk about it? The Doge miner. I mean, we are Doge maxis, so it is a Doge miner.
I like them. I still like them. Mark, is this? I'm gonna probably shoot myself in the foot here. Mark's not gonna be happy about this one, but I accidentally shipped our X6S with Veteran Miners cables on it to a customer.
Oh,
so if
wow,
you're the customer, congratulations, you got some benefits there. Sorry. No, we were having issues with the power supply that came in on one of our X6s from the group buy, and I was scrambling to get it shipped out, and I just pulled our X6 off the rack and swapped out the power supply for them. So they got lucky. They got some brand new Veteran Miner cables for their X6.
Well, if Veteran Miner catches this at any point, we need some new cables, dude, to test out. We were not done testing.
They definitely made a difference, especially space wise and heat wise. We went from running, I don't know, 6 sets down to 4 sets of wires, or whatever, 8 sets down to 4.
Yeah.
It basically cut the wire bundle in half using his thicker cables and the way he runs his stuff. So we were happy with cables on the X6 when I wired them in. I believe I have a video on that as well. We're still pushing the X6 as far as we can. I know that a couple other YouTubers that we've sent X6s to have gone through and done some of their own tuning. We're constantly playing with them to this day. It's just every machine's different. I don't know how far we can push one compared to another because they are used machines. They are old. We try to, if we feel that they can handle them, they go in the ultrasonic cleaner. We clean the crap out of them. Try to get them up. Go ahead.
Can you pull one up or pull the one up that we have running in the mine right now and kind of show them the GUI and things like that?
I can try. You got to fill the empty void of space while I try to find it.
Maybe do like a I was gonna put in our mining rig tutorial. If you guys want to go to Discord while John's doing this and jump in to our Discord channel, I think that's in the description below. We post things, a lot of more updates on particular projects that we're working on, but we also have a mining setup and review channel where we we kind of promote everybody to actually show off their stuff, similar to like Red Panda when he's doing like his rig setups. We're not years behind because we're not as big as Red Panda, but not a knock on Red Panda at all. But if you want to show off your stuff or you want to just show things that are going on, feel free, drop it in, and we'll show it off on our live streams. Which I was going to just drop a picture that I already posted on Twitter. Show everybody. Speaking of veteran miner, we actually just got a bunch of veteran mining cables, and I'm going to be playing with those at some point, and I'll get that. Where do I share my screen? Share screen. Yeah, sure. Screen 2. There we go. You can see veteran mining cable. We've got a bunch of them. Got some carbon fiber ones, and then our colors, light blue with the white. I will say this. So we're not partial to any manufacturer, because there are a couple of manufacturers out there, or providers, I should say, of cables, aftermarket cables. Chain Critical is one. Veteran Miner is one. We have both. We have used both. They both do essentially the same thing. One thing maybe just to kind of put in perspective of the differences, Chain Critical has his made out. He outsources the company that actually makes them, and then he ships them out, which is cool. Again, his cables do exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They can handle up to 300 watts per PCIe, and his wires, he does the same setup or that's similar to Veteran Miner, as putting a sleeve all around it. It's very nice, neat. Too bad I needed to take another picture. I have pictures in places, but anyway, I have them connected to miners, and they're working perfectly fine. Veteran miners, you can tell though, are completely handmade. Like, he's making every single one of them. The quality, I would say, is different. I don't necessarily want to say better, because they both do exactly what they say they're supposed to do. However, his have his initials of his brand name engraved into the actual PCIe connector, the 6-pin or 8-pin, whichever you get. You can just tell there's little nuances that he took extra time to do, that are make it, they're quality wise, they're the same cable. So I don't want to say one's better than the other, but cable wise, I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. Welcome to the live.
Yeah, we like both sets of cables. We like cables.
Yeah, we like cables, guys. We like cables.
So I got the X6 pulled up. Let me share my screen. Let's see if I can figure this out without. So this X6, granted, we've put this thing through the ringer, so we do currently have a dead board in it that I have to repair. But if you did pick up an X6 from us and you haven't seen the back door, I'll show you how to get into the back door and some of the settings that we're running, just so you kind of have an underlie of what's going on. So I'm in the miner settings over here on the X6, and we're currently running it in balanced mode. We've got it hooked up to pool and no issues. It doesn't want to come out of balance mode right now. Probably because I've messed with it way too much. But you do have a drop-down menu to give you balance mode, hash mode, and low power mode. Or if you click on the diamond up here where it says miner settings, roughly 10 times or so, you get the pop-up for the frequencies and chip, settings or whatever else. So you can go in here and you can alter it a little bit. I only go up by increments of 25. Sometimes I'll do odd numbers in there because chips are strange and they may like, say, 128 versus 127. It all depends on what you're getting silicone lottery. So you're going to have to play with your own machine. But we can go in here, add 50. I'm going to add, let's say, another 0.3 volts over there. We'll leave the RPMs the same. And go ahead and hit apply, and it'll run that setting for you. And it'll take a second for it to kick in, but now that's how you come in here and fine tune your overclock or undervolted settings. And you can really turn these things down or ramp them up however you see fit. I think Red Panda and Hobbyist both did a video on the X6, right?
Yeah, at some point.
I apologize if you guys can hear my dog and my kids barking. It's summer break here, or spring break rather, Easter break, whatever you want to call it. So
one thing I wanted to note though, since Blue Moon had brought this up, us to talk about the X6. So 13, almost 1400 mega hash at 1300 watts or 1400 watts, somewhere around there. That's balance mode. Again, this one has a dead board. More than likely, we just need to physically reboot the machine. The GUI on this. So this is an older machine, right? This isn't supported by any of the newer firmware that Gold Shell offers. Each machine has their own particular firmware that jives with each machine. You go on to Gold Shell's GitHub, you see essentially all the different firmwares that they have. And the X6, this is literally it. So if you're trying to mess with it, you're trying to get it more efficient, or just trying to customize it in some way, shape, or form, somehow, not really too much you can do other than the backdoor that John had given. You can also mess with the fans there. Now, just one thing with the backdoor is when you're messing with the fans, Gold Shell, I don't know if it's like just hard coded within the actual PCB board or not. They don't like to stick at whatever setting you put them on. That regardless of any machine, so far my experience is you try to drop the actual fan speed itself, because in reducing the fan speed, you reduce the amount of wattage, so you're making the machine just a little bit more efficient, not necessarily changing the hash rate at all. However, by doing that, for some reason, the fans will, they'll hiccup and they'll go right back to 100% again. So it's something you would have to keep monitoring frequently. But what I found with making these machines more efficient is, one, either cool them down, which we have a custom thing that we've made for box miners, the OG, not the one box, but the box. Gold Shell needs to fix their naming, honestly.
Mini box miner,
The mini box miner. Yeah, not the one that's just the size of a 120 millimeter fan. We've made a tunnel that you can put a fan in and pull heat off of the machine, since they only provide heat that there are fans that push the heat through. That way helps keep them a little bit more efficient, but it's more like you're cooling it off enough to keep it on the higher end of their 10% that they quote on their website consistently. So it'll always essentially stay at that higher end 10%. Going in this back door and adjusting the fans, this will also make the machine a little bit more efficient, because if the fans are not running at 100%, they're not accumulating as many watts or running that much more amps. So essentially at that point, you're reducing, the machine may stay at the similar hash rate. It may heat up a little bit more. So do it at your own risk, and in terms of maybe burning out a board or something like that. But it will reduce and give you more power reduce the power consumption to give you more efficiency. Man, I cannot talk today.
It's okay. I'm not going to mess with this one too much, because it's, like I said, we've put this machine through the ringer. That's why it's got a dead board. I think at one point in time I had this thing cranked up to probably 1.5 volts or 1.0 volts per board, or per chip per board. So I kill it is what I was trying to do, and I achieved it.
I see that.
So I do have to go back. I mean, that in comparison, though, I mean, we have 2 out of 3 boards running at this same efficiency, if not better efficiency, than an L3 Plus.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, come on. So that's why we leave it running, because it's still pulling in a gigahash with the hashing power.
John, come on, come on. That's totally John.
I can't
Yes,
even
because
spell correctly.
I can't talk. John can't spell. We're just two guys on the internet, just putzing around, trying to figure things out. It's like this is our first day, guys. It's our first day.
People are going to start believing you if you keep telling them that.
Yeah, right. I've seen these guys around all the time. Yet he keeps saying it's his first day.
We've had a couple questions lately from people, not just guys that host with us, but other people we've talked to about starting hosting with us. So I kind of wanted to go into a little bit more about how we monitor the equipment. If we have, I mean, we've done it in the past a while back. I just kind of wanted to bring it up again because they've made changes to their platform. Um, and we wanted to share that. I mean, for GPUs, we stick with Hive monitoring. It just makes things super simple. We are running Hive on a lot of machines that support Hive, whether it be ASIC or GPU. But for overall farm hosting, we use a company called Foreman, Foreman.mn. I'm going to pull up. I don't want to pull up the whole farm just because um, there's people in the farm that want to stay anonymous, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up some of the stuff that we have underway. I think I can do that without divulging too much. Maybe. Yeah, I think I can share this out without giving out too much information. All right, let me share my screen again.
It's weird, dude. Like, if I don't have YouTube pulled up on the other computer for some reason, like I start to get real slow and it's delayed, and then I pull YouTube up on the other computer, and now I don't see any delay.
Love it. Love it.
It's our first time every time. Hell yeah, dude. I'm stealing that.
So here's one of the sections, or one of our build outs. I think this one's at the castle, not at the new facility yet. Uh, it gives a lot of information, and we like it because not just ourselves for reminders for ourselves, but our customers can submit tickets for machines that are having issues. Um, I'm not going to pull up the machines here just because some of them are labeled with the customer's names, and I don't want to give away everybody's name, obviously for privacy reasons. But you can see that this section of our facility is pulling on average 1.3 petahash worth of hashing power. And I mean, that's not just Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin, C library scripts, Cryptonite. There's a bunch of them that we mine. Roughly pulling 78,000 watts, or 77.89 kilowatts worth of power at any given time. And then your power cost is right around $200 a day is what we're pulling. The USD per day is going to be a little off because not every machine that's in there is being calculated for what it's earning, because not everything is being pulled off of, I think it's CoinGecko is where Foreman pulls their data from. So not every machine is being calculated in here, but at least we know, based upon power consumption, how much we're being charged roughly per day at this facility, at this location. I mean, we can see, which machines have been rebooted. We have two S19s that have been, self-rebooted, which is nice. I can go in here and I can reboot a machine fairly simply. I can generate reports for the customers, for ourselves, based upon their percentage of uptimes. What machines are having issues. Like I said, we can create custom tickets. If I want to open a ticket, say, John Smith's S19J Pro running Hive needs to be reflashed or retuned, or it's got a dead fan or bad chip or whatever it may be, I can put it here and I can give it a priority level, and our customers can do the same thing. So when you host with us, you get access to our foreman for your machines. You don't get to see everybody's machines, but you get to see your machines within our system. So if something goes down, API issue between a pool, between a machine, you can't get a hold of us, you can try doing a remote boot from Foreman without even having to interact with us. Or say you can create a ticket and say, hey, I tried rebooting it twice, doesn't seem to be having any luck. do you mind doing a hard reboot, or it's got a bad fan, or needs to be, a diagnostic run through it. All that can be handled through Foreman, which is really nice. Power controls, shutting machines off. If you say you don't want to host for a couple days and you just say, you're bugging John or whoever else, and you can just come in here on your own time and turn off your machines and put them on sleep mode, and you don't get charged for them being on sleep mode because it doesn't pull any power on sleep mode.
Yeah.
So we only charge you for what the power that you use. We're a growing facility, we're a growing company. If you've been with us from the beginning, I'm sure you've seen we have ups and downs and good weeks and bad weeks as we deal with power companies and new facilities. But we've only ever charged what you guys use when you host with us. If you mine we've even given away days of mining for free because we understand the struggle. We have, 1 week, we only mine for one week and 1 month. We'll give you that week for free. We've done it in the past. We're trying our best to figure out systems and get things working properly. But I wanted to show you guys the system that we're using. We've had good luck with it. Foreman's got their own Discord. They're very helpful when it comes to setting up things. So if you guys have any more questions about Foreman, you guys can use it yourselves. I think it's 10 machines for free. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
10
roughly
machines.
about that. 10, 15, something like that.
And then you have a tiered system where you pay per machine. That's what we do. And then beyond that, we can get, I think it's like $3,000 to have a self-branded Coastal Crypto Foreman account if we want it. So instead of saying Foreman, it'll say Coastal Crypto at the top. We're happy with what we're getting with the pay per machine because we have new guys coming in all the time. So we just add a couple more machines to a bank and we get charged per month. And we don't pass that charge on to you guys. What we pay is that's on us for using this monitoring software. There are free ones out there. There are different ones out there, but because this was our choice for our company for making our life easier to manage, we don't pass that cost on to you guys for hosting. So I just wanted to make that clear. Do you guys have any
pretty
questions?
great for seeing it for the first time. That's pretty good. First day,
All right, I'm done. I'm done with you.
You're talking about hosting and things like that. I wanted to bring this up. This is one of the tools that we use in actually calculating power for somebody that's going to be coming in because we do charge a deposit, right? Typically, if you're buying machines from us, it's 1 month worth of assumed power consumption. If you're not buying machines from us and you're bringing machines in, that is 2 months worth of power consumption. The reason we do that is every time we increase power, every now and then we break a tier with the power company and we owe an additional deposit. We talked about this in the last stream. So essentially we have to count for that. So it's not like we're just adding money just to add money and pull out of your guys' pocket or anything like that. But this is the omnicalculator.com, and it's actually pretty awesome with typically what we try to help people understand their watts and things like that. Oh no, we're gonna do this hours, right? And so I'll just give you guys so we're at 9 cents a kilowatt hour flat at our facility. Something's not right. It's not costing. Oh, that's per day. What am I doing, dude? There it is. Boom. 1 month. You can see what like an S19 would charge you, right? Like, oh my God, it's going to cost me this much money each month. Again, it's a pretty good calculator. Kind of tells you when and where and how you might be looking at or how many kilowatt hours you're going to be utilizing, things like that.
Yeah,
And
something
this
to
is
pick up on real quick, because you brought it. So look at the wattage, that 240 and the kilowatt hours. So when you look at your bill for your power company, you're trying to figure out exactly what they're charging you. You can type in your kilowatt hours right here, and it will reverse all the information on you. So the wattage is way different that you're. So when you calculate your power or you're trying to calculate your bill, kilowatt hours is what power company uses to charge you, and you're trying to figure out what that is based upon the wattage of the machine. So this really helps you kind of narrow it down and dive in with all the math. All right, got a quick question. Quick question on hosting. There is no insurance at your facility for any of the hardware, right? Insurance. We wouldn't be a smart business owners if there wasn't any insurance.
So we carry liability. It's a $1 million umbrella oh Jesus, I can't talk. Yeah, it's $1 million umbrella insurance contract. That's what we carry for the mining facility. It's $1 million per occurrence. So if something were to happen, a fire, essentially we could be able to reimburse machines if that were to happen, things like that. Now, that doesn't cover if your board decides to arc for some reason, which happens typically with ASIC miners. That's your board dying. So that's different. That we do a la carte at our facility. That would be maintenance. We would have to send that out to a repair facility, which we are partnered with a couple, and we just go from there. So a lot of different things when it comes to like insurance, something like that, but we cover like the big things. So if there's a fire, we're covered.
We do handle all of the RMA for you guys if you do buy new in box equipment. If it is in the warranty, still within warranty, we handle all of. If customer, or even if you host with us, or even if you're just equipment from us, to extend our past the just hosting it. So if you have a new piece of equipment, we've even helped people that have equipment that they haven't bought, and we handle the RMA for you. It's you're not buying from us and you still need help with the RMA. It's a discounted shipping fee. But if you're buying it from us and it needs to be RMA'd, you don't pay shipping. You don't any of the export back to China and back. We handle it for you. Make the process we possibly can when it warranty work. We first try to certified techs here in the States, handle it, and then it gets shipped overseas, and we handle all of that. Whether you're a customer, us hosting, buying equipment or not, we do our best to help the community.
You're buffering a lot, dude.
Am I?
Yeah. You want to dip out and try to come back in?
I think I'm the one hosting the stream, though. So if I dip out, I lose it.
Oh, damn it. How does that work? Can you change hosts? I don't know.
My first. Give it a second. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're good. We're good.
All right.
Let me the remote access to the farm.
Oh, okay. You think that might be it?
Yeah.
If it's not my technical stuff that's going on, it's John's. And that's hilarious. Yeah, it is getting a little better.
All right. I have 3 monitors and I'm everything off a 2060 and a laptop. So that's connecting to the farm. That's connecting to the farm.
I know. I'm gonna have to build you a. I'm gonna have to build you like a laptop to use, even though that's obviously not. I'm having my own troubles with it.
This is. I wonder if it's an AI laptop.
Yeah, I wonder if it's StreamYard.
Could be. If you haven't seen live videos, it's not your TVs, guys, or your computers. It's my stream upload. It's been buffering me weird when I do my uploads. I just hit scroll. You'd think we'd have better video editing or that could help us, but we just
One day.
We don't want
We're
to.
still, yeah, we're still small, dude. So once YouTube starts actually paying us out, we can focus on getting an actual video editor. One thing,
Sponsor coastalcrediting.com.
one thing that we did want to talk about is the new. Well, John made mention of it earlier. The new facility. So little by little, we are growing, things like that. We are working on a substation build out, which that is in kind of full swing. John's going to be doing a little bit more content as we actually start to deploy and get construction underway. That just is going to take time though, because construction workers work at their own pace, and when the job starts and things like that. However, we are in the midst of trying to move facilities due to unforeseen events at our current facility. Essentially, we need to move out to a different facility that our current landlord owns, and which is literally from the castle to our new facility. This facility has roughly about 5 megawatts worth of power ready to go already. It has a substation with Dominion Power Company on it already. And essentially we need to fill it. So in order for us to move, trying to crowdsource things like that. So if you guys know anybody with a couple hundred miners, 180, whatever, a bulk amount of miners, and they're looking to actually move over, if they have roughly about a quarter of a megawatts worth of power consumption, we can do 8 cents a kilowatt hour. Otherwise, our 9 cents a kilowatt hour applies in its entirety. So if you guys know anybody that's looking to move over or needs hosting space, send them our way. We're 9 cents a kilowatt hour at the maximum. We can extend that rate to our new facility. And essentially, we need to fill my 5 megawatts. And once the substation's running, we're just going to literally move that to the substation as soon as we have it up and running within the next 12 months.
Right. So we have old sub, which it's already energized, ready for machines at the foundry, forge, fire, whatever you want, ground zero, whatever you want to call it here in Roanoke. The pit, the money pit. That's where we're building out a 35 megawatt facility. So right now, a 3 megawatt substation on the property, ready to go. And then we're building off of that 3 megawatt facility for a 35 megawatt huge farm. And then what Mark is saying is the castle where we've been hosting currently, it's going to go away, like seen circumstances with water and power and everything else. So there's another facility that already has 5 megawatts ready to go. So we have 5 plus 3 plus 35, closing megawatts real soon. But the only way we can do that is fill it. The more we fill, the more negotiating powers we have with the power company, the more leverage we have with the power company when we continuously pull power. It doesn't help us, you're not doing us a favor by shutting off machines. We need to keep power consistent. If you're hosting, we need consistent. So if somebody, I got to figure out a way to turn on more machines, keep the power rate the same. Appalachian Power has charged us what? Let's go around $12K for deposits.
Yeah, I think we're close to 15 at this point.
We dropped that. Some customers wanted to turn off machines, and I couldn't turn on enough fast enough. So we went here, and then we went back up a tier. They recharged us. It's part of business. It sucks, but we want to keep the power consistent. We need to keep the power on. So spread the word. Put us out. Let's thumbs up. Let's whether they're mini box miners or immersion system or a fleet of S19. Let's get them going.
Yeah. So one question we have: how many people will be watching the 5 megawatts roughly? You're looking at it, dude. 2 people. You would be very surprised as to how many people are really needed to in order to have a large infrastructure setup? And 5 megawatts too is actually not very large in the big perspective of things. We're in the midst of building out a 35 megawatt facility with the privately owned substation that we previously showcased in our other videos. That we will have a force of people running and focusing on everything. But again, 5 megawatts is not a lot. So in the big scheme of things, right? Two people focusing. This is what we do. We don't do anything else. So
This is a job.
if
This is everything.
yeah, like John will literally be at the mine late at night if need be. I come out to the mine because I'm in Phoenix. He's in Virginia, where the mine is actually at, as needed basis. But essentially, if I need to book a flight and be there within 24 hours because a major panel went down or something along those lines, I'm there and ready to go. But a lot of all the monitoring, like the biggest headache is literally just when a machine falls off. And it happens frequently with the gold shell miners. They are a huge pain in the neck. But the thing is that most of the time we could just remote in and we can reboot right there. Boom. And it's all just, digitally in. So we're both watching the mine, constantly. We get notifications, things happen. And anybody that's hosted with us knows, like we've popped breakers, we've blown transformers, we've done everything that you're not supposed to do within crypto mining in itself. You think you have a certain amount of power, but then you realize that these canisters on a pole or this transformer that's sitting on the ground is from 1995. Last time the power company decided it would be a good idea to change oil was 6 years ago. Things like that. Like there's more into it than just we're flipping a switch on and running all the power and things like that. And we've showcased that every time we've blown a transformer, we put it on the internet, whether it be on Twitter or we have like a short of one just blowing smoke regularly. But we're still there. John's there, within driving distance, literally around the corner for the most part. Goes to the mine, whatever we need to do to get it up and running. If it is a major electrical issue, though, a day or so just to get parts and then put something back on. But we're running these the way we're running, and maybe John, we might have to like showcase this a little bit more at some point. Is so we're on a huge 1200 amp panel, huge panel, just it's old as dirt, and it does what it needs to do. Then we're having 5.2 cable or like legit just straight what is it, 8, and that's not 8, it's like 3 3 gauge. What is the gauge on the
Yeah,
cable?
three
It's
three
literally
on or
like
two
this
on.
big.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's running all the way out to where we have a PDU set up, or when we first started the mine, John made these breaker boxes. So basically, one breaker box, one panel would end up going over to another sub panel, and then we would be putting miners on dedicated 20 or 30 amp breakers. And we had a whole panel of that, and we've since now moved to these PDUs that we have that you see in almost any big build mine, or if you like seen like a walkthrough of a crypto box, huge panel, a PDU that literally 120, 160 amps worth of power that can flow through it. And so we're running off a few of those now, and essentially the power gets breaker box, not a breaker box, a what is it? It's like a sub box, a joint box or whatever, a junction box. That's what it's called.
Box. Yep.
Yeah, junction box down to the PDU, and then the PDU out to the machine. So the machines are always protected in some way, shape, or form. So we don't have to worry about some electrical problem. For the most part, right? Like there's always unforeseen circumstances that come out of play, but we're doing it like the safest way. We run thicker wire than you're supposed to. The PDUs, we're running 120 amp at the minimum, and then we also have our breaker boxes that we break out, and each machine would be on its own specific breaker. So we should have a breaker blow before anything else. But every now and then, especially in the junction boxes, we'll have like fuse blow, and they make these fuses for these junction boxes. They're pretty thick, big. Again, I think we need to really showcase this at some point. And
I mean, if that's what you guys want to see, I can definitely do some shorts. I mean, Mark's talking about fuses and everything else. We had, I mean, the fuses for the substation are 3 feet long.
yeah,
69 kVA, 3 fuses. But one of the things that we just had to do, talk about, going over above and beyond. One of the brackets that holds in these fuses went bad. It's cast aluminum, and we couldn't find one. So what we did is we actually had a company take the broken pieces, put them in sand, and recast the entire bracket. It was faster for us to do that than it was for us to order it. So I mean, we can showcase all that for you guys if that's what you want to see. But yeah, Mark is 100% on point with how we protect everything. We even have lightning arresters on the building that we don't necessarily need in case something happens and the building gets struck by lightning. Nothing's going to backfeed into our system. And we've actually experienced that. We've actually had lightning strike close by that have set off our lightning arresters, preventing arc back or back tracing on our lines.
yeah. The
Because
only
what'll
thing we
happen,
saw, was just flames. Two of them, straight lines. Don't even know what happened. It could have been DeLorean. Not sure.
back in time, clock was struck 12. Yeah, so we do everything we can. I mean, we can showcase more of that stuff if you guys want. Something that I definitely want to do. I'd love to get my brother out of LA and have him do a full production video on the build out for the substation, the 35 megawatt one, because it'll be a huge undertaking. Multiple parts, multiple, hiccups from the dealing with the county, dealing with the town, dealing with supply chain issues. So I want to document as much as I possibly can for that.
Hell yeah, dude.
You've been getting a lot of hits on that iPolo firmware. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, dude. I'll be honest with you. I really like these iPolo machines. I'm sure not everybody is a huge fan of them, but eh, uh, they're like, these little guys are good. Like I have a hard time expressing exactly what we should be saying with these, but basically the new version firmware 80.115 opens up a little bit more mega hash on the V1 minis. So this is specifically for the V1 minis. It works for even the V ETC classic ones. So it's all V series. And essentially it jumps up the actual mega hash. So these are this one that I'm looking at right now is a 300 mega hash model. It consistently does roughly about 320, 330, 350. In some cases on the pool, it reports that. In some cases, it also reports higher. So we're getting the latency is really good when it comes to compared to the pool. Trying to think, I have this one connected to Poolin. So because we're trying to maximize the little competition that Poolin has right now. What are they doing? They're 100,000 until the 28th, and they're distributing ZIL equally among the network. So we're taking advantage of Poolin. I know Poolin has had their issues in the past, and trust is kind of rocky right now, or has been since they did their whole IOU thing. But Poolin, we've stuck with them throughout that whole endeavor. We still have some IOU BTC on their pool. Almost $1,000 worth at this point, depending on how much more Bitcoin's going to be going up. But we've stuck through them this entire time because we dual mine Doge and LTC on their pool, and they haven't done us wrong in any way, shape, or form, and we're not paid by Poolin or any of that other fun stuff. That's the main pool that we focus on. So yeah, this firmware increases the hash rate. It also contributes to dual mining. And I don't know if you guys have seen, there's some additional news out there as well that iPolo is partnering up with Ezil. So I'm pretty sure at some point it's going to be even easier to connect to the Ezil mining pool with these devices. In the video that I did for this, the iPolo and setting it up for dual mining, you'll notice in there that there's a specific way you need to set it up in for eZill when it comes to your wallet and your ETC wallet, your Zill wallet, and then for it to report on the pool, you need to give it a worker. Otherwise, it won't report. It will mine. It just won't report on the pool. So in most cases, you have to, for eZill, ETC wallet, Zill wallet, and then .001 or dot whatever you want to name the worker. I found that 001 and doing that chain actually helps out a lot more. But the firmware, it's definitely better than what it was. I don't know much more to really talk about it. You can find the firmware on our website. In the video, I also uploaded it to a GitHub repository that's under Coastal Crypto. So you'll see there that we have the firmware and you can get it downloaded from there, or you can go directly to ipolo.com and get it from there. Rabid Mining has it on his website for this firmware. And I'm sure at some point there's going to be additional firmwares, and we'll try to support that as we keep going too. To talk about our I bring up our repository, and that'll probably lead us into our next topic of discussion is the dev that we're working with for CCM token. I don't know if you want to get into this now, John.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So the dev that we're working with on CCM token, they are going to start documenting the code that we're utilizing for CCM token. So maybe just something I want to read that we posted into our Discord channel. And again, you guys are always more than welcome to go to the Discord channel, and you'll get these updates a lot sooner than what we post like on YouTube and things like that. Where is our Discord channel? Here it is.
We also need to start adding more stuff to the forum. I see a lot of you guys checking out the forum on the website. We're going to start putting more stuff out there as well, because we know not everybody uses Discord.
Yes. So with the last update that we did, which was basically like mid-month of this month, the team ran into issues with the current contract in regarding to the taxes and liquidity, which we've said that vocally multiple times. We learned where our mistake was, and we're making some changes. So the path forward, due to the contract not having a migration feature, that's one of our bigger issues. We need to take it from the Polygon version 2 code base and Solidity, and we need to put it into the Polygon version 3 code base and Solidity, something similar to a lot of the updates through Ethereum and things like that. And it's just a lot of the other dexes are on version 3 and are not very compatible much more with version 2 of the Solidity contract. So we are now testing a version 3 contract already. That is in the works. When testing is complete, current token holders will receive a 1-for-1 token. You won't have to do anything other than add the new contract to your wallet. So essentially, how many ever you have now, you will be at that point having the same amount. In addition to this, we will burn all of the V2 tokens, and we'll post the burn address for that. Essentially, what we're going to be doing in addition to that, that burn completely gone. New contract is going to have a reduced amount of availability of tokens. So the amount, so what would that be? That's not liquidity. That's something else. Our cap, I guess you would say, is going to be a lot less at that point, correct?
Right.
So right now, I think we're at like 42,669,000,000, something like that. Going forward, it's going to be like 42,069,000. So we're reducing the total amount of tokens that'll be allotted by a drastic amount. That's one of the things that we learned in our errors. So now that we're going this route, we're going to be just changing it. Burn all of them. The miner lockup utility is being tested with multiple versions of the V3 contract. So that what that's referencing, the miner lockup, you know what? I'm just going to share my screen too. Maybe this will help. Right?
Yeah.
People can
I'm
read
excited
along.
about the lockup. I mean, we had an amazing conversation with our dev just the other day, and he's had multiple successful iterations of it.
Yeah. So if you can read this, great. If not, I'm going to be reading it too. So I'm bad at basically reading everything here, but. So yes, the miner's lockup utility is being tested, and that lockup utility basically is you submit your amount of tokens that you've accumulated. We're going to be putting a particular amount of tokens that need to be set aside for a percentage of an S19 that we'll be testing. So eventually, here soon, we are going to be needing guinea pigs for testing out the shares and things like that, which we'll put in our Discord. Before anything else, and asking for guinea pigs. And essentially, we will then at that point be pushing to test the actual split share program that we're doing here, our timeshare per se. So you lock in the lockup utility, essentially is the contract that you would be submitting to on chain, and basically starting the mining, right? I mean, so you're mining on your S19. So we're looking to create the fastest and easiest user experience without sacrificing security. That's, again, we're trying to do it on chain. How does this contract work? The first release of locking contract will require a set number of tokens for a percentage of the machine in increments of 10%. The token will be locked for a minimum of 90 days. Initially, you will need to log into the website using your wallet and enter your desired payout address. Only 90% of the machine will be available to be timeshared. The website is currently being developed and optimized, so we're going to have a brand new website that will all these functions will take place. You will be able to find information on the token and the project goals on that website. You'll be able to check your daily rewards. In conclusion, we appreciate all the patience for anybody that's been following this. The project will become completely open source in hopes to bringing complete transparency to a sector of the mining industry that is currently black boxed. It's mainly on like a back end thing for most of these other farms that do this, or some form of cloud based. Essentially, you don't know what really is happening. This is going to be on a blockchain, so you can see, okay, I have this and I'm getting X. Your rewards will be distributed through a blockchain, so you'll see it move from one wallet to another wallet, so on and so forth. So yes, this project's being built brick by brick. We look forward to releasing the project code to the public. And that when he says to the public, he's going to be putting it on our GitHub repository. So if you do go to GitHub, which we'll stop sharing this for a second. Are you trying to show Kermit?
No, you bouncing around trying to look.
Oh, I'm looking around my mic. Like I have to look around my mic to see my other screens. Thing's so freaking. Yeah. So if you guys have ever seen that meme, never mind. Or the GIF. GitHub.
It's supposed to be a family-friendly show.
We're family and friendly. Search GitHub. Coastal Crypto, right? And it's not there. Where did I put it?
Did you put it on our CC Works?
No, I don't think so. I'll try. One comment, one commit. Whoa there. I've exceeded my rate limit. Oh, do I have to like log in?
Yes.
Okay. Do that real quick.
Gandalf says more than willing to be a guinea pig. And so does J Stonks.
Awesome.
I'm game too, says Boxy. Appreciate you guys. And we'll reward the guinea pigs. Obviously, this isn't something we're asking you guys to just do for free. We obviously want to make sure that we compensate everybody that helps us out.
For real.
The reason why I know this question is going to come up while Mark's pulling up the GitHub. The reason one of the reasons why we are only allocating 90% of the hash rate per machine is what we're trying to do is we're trying to lower the power consumption cost for the machine on our end. So when you lock up stakes, 10 to 90% of the machine is available for allocation. That last 10% is to help reduce the cost of the power. So instead of being at 9 cents, it'll be at 8.8 cents or 8.5, whatever it may be. But that's the overall plan, is to help reduce the cost for these machines, because we are hosting them for the coin. We are separate entities from the coin, even though we are doing them together. I know it's a tangled web. And I just broke my flash drive. So I'm over here.
Dude.
Just take all my money already. No, we're trying to give you guys money. We don't want to take your money.
Right.
I don't know. I was going to my wallet to the camera. Take my money. Any time today, Mark, would be amazing.
Yeah. All right. I finally found it. Dude, I'm not good with GitHub, okay? I'm not a dev. Sorry. You got some guys over here that are just... All right. Here's our GitHub. So obviously we need to do some updating on it and put our logo and some other stuff. But essentially, this is where we're going to be at. github.com/coastal crypto. I don't know why I couldn't have just put that in and find it. So we have the V1 iPolo V1 firmware that we put up here. Again, we'll probably do some more firmwares in different projects. Honestly, being safe and secure, I would try to find it on the actual projects themselves. Again, though, if you could, which I think we are going to put probably the firmware here on our GitHub as well, from the HiveOS version that has our affiliate code embedded in it. If you want to be a hero and help us out, download HiveOS's firmware from us. You can find it on our website currently just by going to the shop, coastalcryptomining.com. But again, we'll probably put it here too. And we have a slew of different ones: S19, S9. We're getting the L3. We're getting, and we're basically doing legit firmware. This isn't hey, sign up with my affiliate code and put your GPU rigs on there, which we can do that too. We actually have an affiliate code for that, but it's not we're not boasting it all the time. I think it's in the description below. But go ahead. We're not trying to promote it all the time. But again, it's in the description below. You see what I did there? No.
So, well, you good with the GitHub? Let me share my screen now. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me pull it up here.
I'm not promoting, but it's in the promoting.
Down below, up above, over. So if you guys are looking for the firmware, like Mark said, there is a tab on our website for some of the more popular firmwares. I've only uploaded a few of them so far: S9, S19, S19J Pro, for the BeagleBone, for the XE-Link board. Soon we should have the AM Logic board. I will do a whole video on that, on how to get the AM Logic firmware on the AM Logic boards, because that's a whole pain in the ass. But if you don't see what, just in this quick overview, if you go over to the forum and you're a member on our site, you have to be a member on the site. I don't think I'm logged in, but right here underneath firmware. No, so let me log in. Log in with Google. Now it's my turn to be, hold everything up with logins. So again, if you're a site member, I only send out emails if they are super deals. We don't spam. This isn't spam bullshit. This is a way for you guys to get firmware, to get information, to share knowledge with the community. That's kind of how it is. So underneath firmware, underneath the forum, I put the link in for our actual Hive account. So this is updated by Hive, not by us. We'll also put all this firmware on the GitHub, is what Mark is saying, not just what you see on the website. So if you click on this link, it will pull up all the firmware that Hive has uploaded or put out for us that's branded or referred to us. So,
dude, what is that 323 one?
I'll get there. Relax.
Okay. That's
So,
new.
it's new. See, we don't even know. No, but we have the SD files, and then you have the web interface updates. So if you have an older version of Hive that you're running on, say, an S19, and you want to run our version of Hives on your S19, you can download the web update from here and update it to your current Hive account. So if you're running Hive already, you can use the web interface. If you're looking to do a brand new fresh flash on an SD card, you can use it here as well. I mean, they've given us a whole slew of firmwares to run. I know you can't see it, but maybe I can go like this. Hold on. There you go. So even the T9s, the T19s, everything is there. And we also have some of the older machines, the S17s, the T17s, and then we have the S10 as well.
Oh,
So
that's right.
yeah, the S10 was a request by SOT, so we want to make sure we got that on there as well. Hopefully, we'll see another date there, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, sometime next week, with the L7. But as soon as we get the L7 firmware, it's going on the website no matter what. But if you guys are ever looking for Hive firmware and you're struggling, fumbling around with their website or whatever else, bookmark our Hive website, our Hive firmware, and you guys can get your hands on our affiliate supported firmware from Hive. That was a mouthful.
Yep.
Join the page. Join the
And
club.
we have been in talks because we are currently working on a deal with someone who has quite a few what's miners, some of the old series. So HiveOS says that there is firmware in the works. So if we see that, similar to like the L7, we are going to be dropping that on Twitter, doing videos, etc., just showing all the firmware and things like that.
Gandalf, he says he's another satisfied customer, or soon to be satisfied customer. His M50 What's Miner from you guys. Yeah, it'll be there. You should have it probably Monday or Tuesday, my friend. I shipped it out Thursday, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. So you should have that thing Monday or Tuesday.
Firmware for the L5. So Hive said that there's not enough demand for the L5 to make it a priority yet. We've added it to their list, essentially of requested firmware, but we need more on the network. So basically, we need someone
They
to
can
come
see.
in, yeah, and they can see it. So we need someone to come in and do like a big bulk on some L5s. Obviously, we still have access to BitDeer, and they still have them. They are no longer running them, but they still have them. They're willing to sell them for a price. They're very selective as to who they sell, and they do sell it through one of our distributors. So hit us up if you know somebody or anybody really that's looking for or makes mention of the L5. We will sell it. The machine itself is in decent shape. Yeah, like I'm gonna be very honest and transparent, dude. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like it's an older machine. It's a workhorse. The only problem is that these machines are used, so that's literally really the only warning.
Yeah,
But
they were
no,
pulled off a shelf and put into storage. They weren't cleaned or anything like that. When we buy used machines like the X6s or the L5s, I personally clean the machines before they go out. These machines were not cleaned.
no. Asked to answer Chuck Danger's question. Roughly 1,400. Depends on where we're shipping to, but yeah, roughly 1,400 for an L5. So one last thing with the CCM token, I just want to share, which those again on Discord saw this, and I'm sure you saw it as I blew up this image before, but we are testing in S19 already. I am very shocked as to the terahash that it's pulling, because it is not a it's a 100 terahash machine. So the fact that it's doing 133 when I took the screenshot was pretty impressive. But we are testing. You can see CCMT test. So it's testing. I don't even have a wallet hooked up to this for payouts yet. So basically, once we get the testing through and we got our guinea pigs coming in, I think the reward itself might be what's been accumulating on Poolin. And we will be using Poolin as the pool, which, if we need to change it at some point or whatever, we will. But Poolin's going to be where we're going to start with the CCM token mining pool.
Yeah, that new Hive firmware for the S19s, I'm liking it. I mean, So just had a video talking about the issues he had with his XP, his S19 XP, and had issues with one of the S19s we sent him as well with thermal throttling. From what I've seen, this firmware eliminates all that BS. No issues. I mean, we're overclocking this S19, seeing what we can do, what our percentages are, so we can give you guys. The reason we're overclocking it, so it's a 100 terahash machine. We want to make sure we can allocate 100 terahash to be split up to everybody, or 102 or whatever it is. We want to be able to split it up evenly. So to do that, we need to make sure these machines operate at its specified hash rate or above. If it's a 100 terahash machine, it needs to operate between 110 or 100 and 110. We need to get it up there. But this firmware from Hive has definitely stepped up and eliminates a lot of the thermal throttling issues.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious to see. Not curious. I know it's coming. I can't wait to get my hands on the AM Logic firmware.
So yeah, and that's going to require a micro SD to be able to flash that. So that's going to be,
USB.
I think, a pretty good, micro. What did I say? SD,
Yeah.
USB, micro USB,
USB to micro.
to actually flash it. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be basically like when you took Hive on a USB drive and put it on your motherboard for your GPU rig. It's going to be the same, kind of similar to that. And I'm sure people are going to have trouble or go through hurdles and actually getting it on the machine correctly.
We've already gone ahead and bought some micro USB to USB thumb drives, about yay big.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a USB on one side, then a micro USB on the other. So they're 14 gigabytes of space, I believe, on them. So once we get that firmware, I'll be one of the first, I'm sure, to get it out there.
Right.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Trying to cross my arthritic fingers.
All right. What else? What do you guys got? Questions wise, things like that. I'm trying to look for some other topics that we were trying to remember to talk about, but obviously we're doing these live streams on the whim.
Yeah. We'll put a short out question for you guys. We'll do a poll too as well. But what we got you going on here, we actually have this. This goes back to one of the other questions. I think it was DJ Mines. Yeah, DJ Mines asked about how many people we have to run the 5 megawatt. Yes, it's Mark and I, but we also have an electrician on our team as well. Marine Suns Electrical here in Rocky Mount, Roanoke area. Guy is phenomenal. He's from Boston like I am. I get along with him great. Super smart guy, gets the job done, but he's on call for us. He's on retainer. He's part of our team when we need something done. Beyond a transformer blowing, he'll come out, and he has keys to our facilities. He comes out and helps us fix things and do things when I can't make it. Just the other day, we had an issue with a PDU that decided to shit the bed on us, and I texted him and he was out there within 20 minutes helping me fix it. So we have a good network. Yes, it is only Mark and I and Aaron, who are our sales guy right now, and some other guys who've done sales with us. But it's basically Mark and I running the farms. And then we have a good network of people we can rely on if we get in a pinch, just to kind of elaborate on that earlier question. So get what I was getting to, sorry. What I was getting to, would you guys like him to come on to answer some electrical questions? He's been trying to get his own podcast going and his own channel going for his company, but would you guys like him to come on one of our lives and sit down and go over some electrical questions? So we'll do a poll and let me know what you guys think if you want to get a real electrician's opinion that's familiar with cryptocurrency. That's the key, right?
Yeah.
He's with us. He's in the pits.
But I mean, keep in mind he's like us, so he'll say it's his first time quite a few times, I'm sure. So don't just take the joke. I'm trying to think. I remember that we were like, oh man, we should really talk about that in a live stream, our next one. Can't remember exactly what it is.
Any deals this week?
Yeah, so we have another iPolo group buy that we're working on. It's a big boy. Which one? The Q4 or X4Q. 1,000 mega hash, so 1 gigahash basically, and I think it's at like what 370 for watts. So efficiency wise, I really like the numbers. The price wise that we have is, I think, the lowest on the market that I've seen. That's one of the things that we do, and when we start doing these group buys, is that we try to get the lowest price on the market so we can entice you guys to participate in the actual group buy. But yeah, I'm trying to think any other group buys. I think a lot of people are starting to show interest in the XP, and Bitmain is dropping another batch here on the XP here in April. Maybe we should, you guys tell me, the S19 XP 134 or 141, if we should do some type of group buy. I've already quoted a pretty low price to a couple people via Twitter, and they seem interested. So just let me know if maybe you guys are interested in maybe an S19 group buy price on anything. Just trying to find anything else. So we did get a couple questions. What's that? Hive planning any firmware to support the Gold Shell X5? None that we're aware of.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like Gold Shell is on Hive's radar, to be honest with you.
We'll take that back one step. So we are helping them with a couple Gold Shell KD miners, but I think that's only exclusive to the ASIC hub that Hive has. But it seems like KD miners, they are interested in doing some type of work on that aspect. So keep an eye on that, I guess. But so far, that's it.
Yeah, the easiest way you can get miners on Hive's radar is to connect it to your Hive accounts. So if you have a Hive account, or if you don't have a Hive account, create one and make sure you get your miners connected to their ASIC hub or to their platforms. Even though they don't have firmware for all these ASICs, they do allow you guys to monitor them from their remote software. And Hive keeps track of all of that. They keep track of what machines are on what networks and what firmware is needed. So that's why they asked about the KD box from Gold Shell, because there's thousands of them online right now, right? Going through Hive. What other machines have they brought up to us? The L3 has dwindled. They've seen a network hash rate. The L3s have kind of dropped off, so they're not really doing any more updates for the L3s. The L5, there's hardly any of them hooked up anymore, so they're not working. So if you have a machine that you want to see firmware for, and you know that you're not the only one that has it, and you have other friends that have these machines, get them out there, get them hooked up to Hive so they can see them on the network. And that way they know it's popular.
To be more specific, the ASIC hub on Hive's network. So when you're going to their website, go to the ASIC hub and connect them. If there is no firmware for it, essentially.
How are we doing with the E9 Pro group buy? Dead in the water, my friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dead. So Bitmain, I'm not. If you follow on Twitter, we posted on the actual group buy thread, I guess you could call it. We don't do threads, but I put all the updates for that on there. Bitmain has increased the price of the E9 Pro to roughly $3,400, almost $3,500, and essentially killing our deal. We were working directly with Bitmain to get this deal going. At one point, we were trying to negotiate to let them allot out less than 100, but that just fell through with the rep that we were doing, especially once the price came out. That they increased the price itself. Now we can get some of the OG E9 Pros for roughly 35 right now. It might be a little different. Check the website, coastalcryptomining.com. But essentially, we can get the OG ones at a little bit reduced price. No, it's less than 35. I think it's like 33 right now. Again, check the website. It is cheaper than what Bitmain's coming out because some of our suppliers are holding on to stock they just want to get rid of. So if you're looking for one, hit us up. We'll shoot you a deal on some of the OG ones that are out there, or if you want to wait for the new batch, we have those come in line as well.
So E9 Pro 3780 mega hash, 3335, 3400 is kind of what we got it listed for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, somewhere around there. The price changes all the time, and we need to update it as it changes. So we get quotes from all the suppliers that we work with regularly. We pick and choose the best price, and that's what we put on our website.
Who can give us the best deal to pass on to you guys?
Yeah, right. Oh, here's one thing.
Do our best, Scandal.
Yeah. So turning back to CCM token real quick, John has made mention of this in the past, and we have actually offered it to a couple of our followers. They haven't yet to take advantage of it, but maybe to push this out to you guys as well. We are looking to, like, me and John have our own bags of CCM token. And we want to use our own bags for promoting the project versus the project promoting the project, because that seems like you can get in trouble with doing that, especially late with all what's going on with the SEC. So essentially, me and John, we kind of foreseen this happening, and so we started accumulating our own bags, which we've been transparent in previous lives, saying, hey, we put our own money into accumulating bags for CCMT. What I plan on doing with mine is to facilitate help advertising. I know on our actual white paper or what is it called? The roadmap, we put marketing near the end of this year, which we still plan that to be the case. However, we're looking to see if there are other people out there that would want to do some original crypto and blockchain inspired news articles like on our forum. Or if you want to do like a Medium article about CCM token or something along those lines and tag us within it, we would be willing to, out of our own CCM token bags, pay for that with CCMT. So just put that out there. I know that John's made mention of that in the past.
And be patient, guys. I just realized that our live stream and what Mark and I are saying, we're recording. It looks like there's about a 10-second delay or so, 12-second delay. So just be patient with us. If we don't see a question right away, it's not that we're not seeing it. It's just we might be ahead reading it, a little bit ahead or behind. So just be patient. Let's see what else we got. We've got Gandalf will get that electrician on, like we said. heard a lot of people refer to the non-XP. From what I've heard, the XP have issues, but what is your opinion? XPs are hit or
So
miss.
yeah, so there is an article by a particular outfit that is already sketchy in itself. So I don't know why the article has any validity in it at all. But people have complained about the setup of the XP, the way that it was manufactured, and based on what I've been seeing, and versus like what our clients have ordered and received and experienced, um, it looks like a certain outfit got a bad batch of machines, and they're blaming Bitmain for whatever it is. And so, Bitmain, their quality can be hit or miss every now and then. What I have experienced with the clients that have ordered XPs through us, and we've sold quite a few of them, they have had no issues. We have yet to RMA one for any of our clients either. So that is, you take it for what it is. One thing you got to consider too, it is a high powered machine. Like this is one of the machines that are for the time being um, producing quite a bit of terahash. Um, it's still forced air, so you got to keep it cool. And from day one of the S19 launch, they're very temperamental when it comes to temperature. Once you break 70C, or no, 77C, they start to give you problems. Soat experienced that firsthand when he had his at his mine during the middle of summer. So he had to move it into his office at one point. There's a lot of things that he was doing. You could see it in his videos at that given time with the XP that we lent him to utilize. And eventually he killed the machine. And no fault to his own. It's just it doesn't work in hot temperatures, and now there's a repair was needed to get it back to 100%. So that's just the S19's mo. You need to keep them cool. They're high powered machines. You need to keep them cooled. They did produce the boards differently in the XP. However, the article that's in question, or somebody may have just again probably got a bad batch. We have yet to experience any issues where we would have to RMA anything. So I heard a lot of people, what was it again? I heard a lot of people prefer the non-XP from what I hear. Oh, I didn't even address the question correctly then. I prefer the non-XP. That's me. I know Bitmain is on the verge of coming out with 122Ts. Those actually launch next week. 135Ts launch in May. These are regular J Pro machines. These are not XPs. However, the XP still is a good machine. So it's my opinion. We don't have any XPs at the mine specifically. So take that for what it is. But our clients have had no issues with them, and from my understanding, they love them. So,
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'll let you keep going.
Yep. All right. So what was the next one? Let's pull the machines for the next buy. So we did do a poll, Boxy, and the Jazz Miner QX4 came out as the winner, and that's why we have. So we can do another poll for our next one as well, for a group buy. Let's see. Are they sorting the E9 Pros by mega hash now? A couple of them, yes, because the hash rate is very inconsistent to what Bitmain put it out as. So they are sorting them. They only have 2 models right now that they're sorting. What about, we got this one. What about the group buy for the new Jazz Miner X16Q? That's, yes. So that's the group buy that we have out right now. John showed an image of that. And we have that for 25.25. So hit us up in Twitter DM. We're doing that by direct invoice only. So that would be like crypto payments or bank wire to get it going. So what GPUs do you guys see interest in from customers, or do you think will be most relevant in the next bull market? 3060 Ti seem to be the most popular at the moment. I'll have a lot of people inquiring about those. They are budget friendly, and they also carry quite a workhorse. They do a decent amount of work on any particular algorithm. Me personally, are as the farm. If it's not a CMP type mining specific card, we are going to be buying 3070 Ti's. So just for the next bull run, that's kind of what we're looking out for. We still are buying 5700s currently, just because it's the price point right now is very favorable. It seems like that might be the 580 of the next bull run, so it might be worthwhile or advantageous to pick up 5700s and maybe just offload those during the bull run. Just food for thought, really. So just keep that in mind, or that's what I'm thinking, I should say. Let's see here. Any other questions? What else? What else do you guys got? GPU.
Poll. Did you already go over the poll?
Yeah. So I said we did a poll, and that's where we got the X4-Q. But our next group buy, we will do another poll. We'll put it on Twitter. The Twitter feed. Anytime we or I post anything, goes into the Discord. So if you see it, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, our live stream's got a huge delay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching the feed, and so whenever I'm recording this now, I'm watching it, and you're just pulling up GitHub.
Whoa! What?
So I
Are
don't
you
know
sure?
if it's just.
Can you fast, because it's not delayed on my end?
Let me see.
No, because I see you pointing to the left like this right now. Well, you were just a second ago. We're not that far behind.
Maybe it's just my YouTube. All right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That my bad. not not as delayed as I thought.
Can you guys tell me any of those that you guys have, like box miners, like are these things like breathing hot fire like out of their machines, or like just in general? I put a temp gun to a KD box 2 that we are testing out for a new version of a fan mount. What was it? It was like 147 degrees is what came out. Like, that is ridiculous, is what's coming out on one end. And it's not even hot here where I'm at in Arizona. So are you guys? Yeah. So Chuck Danger said my KD box 2 blows pretty hot for only 400 watts. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, are you serious? What is going on? Like, what? I'm kind of nervous. Like, I want to hear like what is it? Kadena, maybe that's just like it's that hot. I know, like we have a mini Doge, the OG mini Doge, and I know that's still hot. I can't even run it in hash mode because it just gets so hot. Hash rate mode, I have to have it in balance mode. But yeah, dude, I don't. And I can only imagine the mini Doge too. Like, these are more than just heaters. It's crazy. Like, it's like hot lava coming out of there. Almost 150 degrees. Like, what is that?
Sorry, I had to dip out there for a second. My wife has decided to take my daughter to the hospital.
Oh no.
She needed the insurance cards.
Well, you got to go, dude.
No, she's my wife's got it handled. My son's upstairs sleeping, so I can't leave anyways.
Oh, okay.
No, she I
Dang.
guess there's like a stomach bug or strep throat going around her school, so she's but my 7-year-old's breaking out all over her face and her body. So it's, if you're not aware, strep throat can turn into scarlet fever pretty quickly. So might be what she has.
Oh man, that sucks.
Always something, I swear to God. Poor thing during, supposed to be spring break for her. I'm trying to find our latest price sheet, but of course I'm dragging here to find it. So I did see somebody asked about the E9s being broken up into hash rate models.
Yeah,
Did you already go over that?
Yeah, I addressed that. So they are doing a couple models. I would expect that going forward. But the hash rate itself is not off. It's only off by like a couple hundred. So you get like a 3460 model versus like a 37. I think it's 3780. It's still roughly about the same. It's within the 10% that Bitmain says for error. So
another L7 kind of debacle situation. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the S19s.
Yeah, where they're all over the
88,
place.
96, 94, 92, 100, 104, all over the place. I got to do some serious cleaning on my hard drive here.
Right? Oh, that's me. I was like, what is that alarm? Why is that alarm even on?
Is your wife kicking you off?
No, it's an actual alarm I set for some reason.
Oh.
Trying to think, because I know there was a topic that we wanted to bring up in a live, and I don't think I just put it in our group chat.
So here is, this is 318. There is a newer one out there. Let me see. Does it actually have, go like this, remove this live screen, share a different one. So if you're in the know, if you're part of the sales team or sales affiliates, I do these price sheets for our sales guys every week or bi-weekly. And here's the breakdown on the E9 Pro. So we have the 3680, the 8580, and the 3780, and the price points with those ones. So it's a couple days old. I'm sure we'll get a new price sheet this week coming out as well.
Heck yeah. I'm just trying to look to see what it was. If you guys want to know like struggles, if you guys end up, starting your own mine or just a business around crypto, don't put crypto in the name. that's not a topic that we're going to talk about, but we've made mention of this before. I've made mention on Twitter quite a few times, but we have been unbanked at least 4 times now by the larger outfits. So that's fun.
They've been unbanked by the Fed, so
yeah, payback. Karma's a bitch. No, and we can't do like email campaigns. Not that we would spam you guys with emails all the time. I post 24/7 almost on Twitter, but essentially email, things like that. We're not looking to spam or anything like that, but essentially there are some things like, hey man, this deal's going on or something along those lines. And so we built an email list with, some that have signed up to our page, right? And one of the reasons why we've been a little bit more active on the forum is to kind of get the word out. But like we can't go on to what is it, monkey chimp or chimp mail or whatever the heck it's called. They have a specific guideline around cryptocurrency. You can't use their platform for cryptocurrency, period. So they're anti-crypto. There are a couple others that are out there that are supposedly crypto friendly, but they're not. You can go through doing email campaigns directly through like Google and things like that, but it's just a headache to set up. Finally, we got it through our website, but we had to go through and answer all these different, John had to answer all these different questions just to give them clarity as to, we don't buy or sell crypto to people. We just provide machines and a hosting service. This is all we do. We're just a regular business, regular small business, not trying to scam people. Like, just let us communicate with the people that sign up to our page. And so we had to go through a whole week-long process with our website hosting provider so we could do an email campaign through them, and finally just got that approved. A lot of don't put crypto in your name.
Oh, public service announcement, I guess. We are looking to expand our operations here in the near future for repairs. We've been partnering with a number of repair facilities, but we want to bring repairs in-house. We're looking for somebody that is willing to kind of go the extra mile and potentially run our repair side of the business. So we're taking interviews.
Yeah.
Where we are close with Soat, and I think his name is Austin, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who does the Bitmain courses, or the Bitmain or the ASIC repair courses. We would like to send somebody, or at least one or two persons out there to take that course, and help us facilitate repairs under the Coastal Crypto banner, almost a subdivision or a subsidiary underneath us, and kind of expand our brand, because we get a lot of questions about repairs. There's a lot of Bitmain guys popping up, but we're getting questions about repairing gold shell mini box miners, older silica machines. So we need somebody that has, experience with electronics and good troubleshooting skills to take what they've learned through Austin's course and kind of be able to troubleshoot some of the off-brand or other branded ASIC equipments. So that's kind of the direction that we're going in. If you think you can fit that role, send us a message, DM us, and we'll set up an interview.
Oh, here. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So we can set up. So essentially, we would pay to go take the course, right? We would ask that you lock into a contract with us for a certain period of time, so we can ROI on that. That's the only time we're going to look at and consider ROI on something versus like a machine right now. But yes, we're looking to expand into the repair stuff, and we need a repair tech. The closer you are to the mine, the better. But yeah, I found it. I found that topic.
Oh,
So we will not name names here, but we do have clients that host at other facilities, right? So they have machines with us. They have machines. They're doing it decentralized, which is a risk profile. I recommend you do that. Obviously, we want your business much as we possibly can get it, but it's always a good idea to diversify, especially even with hosting providers. So what I learned is that we talked about this previously, where like our hosting rate is X and we're doing it as a flat rate. Other companies do X, Y, and Z, and there's like a fluff fee in there or something along those lines. So we found out that this outfit, and I'm not going to name the outfit or anything like that, but they charge 4.5 cents as a kilowatt hour, which is very appealing. That's amazing. Like, oh yeah, I would like that. Can we facilitate this? But what they do is, to offset their costs, is they ask for 10% of your hash rate. And they only facilitate Bitcoin miners. So I can only imagine that with Bitcoin mining, especially now that the price is starting to come up a little bit more, that gets a little bit more costly. I don't think your rate is actually at 4.5 cents a kilowatt hour at that point.
so let's peel that back even more with our
Oh, yeah.
experience, what we're dealing with power. And I'm just gonna fucking blow the hat off of this shit because I'm getting tired of it. We have multiple power brokers working with us to bring you guys the best rates possible. The only one that comes close to 4 cents a kilowatt hour right off the cuff is Shell Energy.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're at 5.1 cents. So you got to make up the difference someplace. There's your 10% right there. So that's exactly what they're doing. If there are companies out there that have slightly lower rates, but they have a buyback program, or they have some kind of incentive, or respinning, or farm energy, whatever it may be. But right off the cuff, Shell Energy, so what we've seen so far, is one of the lower kilowatt hour charges at 5.1 cents. So they're charging 4. If they are using Shell, they need to make up that cent and a half someplace. There's the 10% they're pulling off all of your Bitcoin miners. So that's some bullshit that I hate. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The biggest reason we started this company so we can be transparent and open up the door so you guys can see what's going on behind the scenes. It was so bullshit like this can stop.
Yeah.
We're working with. I hate this. We're working with individuals who hey, take a look at this company. Hey, what are they doing behind the scenes? And they're digging into it. So we're doing everything we can to pull the FUD and the bullshit and all the scam out of this industry as we possibly can. Not just from what we're offering our customers, but even helping investigations behind the scenes. So that gets to me, man.
Yeah, no, it being in this business and like trying to be transparent, you realize that, there may be cheaper companies out there, but they're not there's something going on behind the scenes. They're doing something that you're not really aware of, or something along those lines. And it's like, okay, in this scenario, they're taking 10% of the hash rate. And so you times that by a lot. Like if you're not just your farm, times that by everybody else's farm, right? And so it adds up
Yeah.
quickly.
And we can be super transparent. We charge 9 cents, but that's not the rate that we're paying. We're paying more than 9 cents to our power company, but we do not want to jack up the rates for our customers. And I'm not, playing the, woe is me here on my little fiddle. Um, it's just it's honesty. We're at 9 cents, and we can make it work at 9 cents, even though we're paying more than that for our kilowatt hour charge. Um, the more customers we bring online, the more negotiation power we have. We've said that in the past. But we're doing this off the cuff. Mark and I are with boots on the ground. We're in the trenches. We're fighting the fight to get you guys the lowest power rate possible. Even if we're not paying it, we're going to extend it to you. And
Yeah.
that is what it is. 9 cents for us. That's it. That's all in. That's no fluff. That's no bullshit. And we add a lot of perks that come for the, because we understand 9 cents is a lot. So we do what we can to, help out, whether it be firmware tuning or running some machines that may not be beneficial to other farms to run. We run them. We do what we can to help out maintenance wise, on the back end. We do have an optional $150 extra per month maintenance fee. And what that covers is board goes down at any time when you're hosting with us, we cover it. If a whole machine goes down when you're with us, it's like insurance. We cover it. We take care of it for you. That's what that extra 150. But we don't push that 150 a month to anybody. It's there in our contract as you read our contract, but we don't advertise it. I'm talking about it now, but we don't openly advertise it often. 9 cents is 9 cents. That's it.
Yep.
Sorry, that my rant is over.
Do you know any firmware for the InnoSilicon A9Z Master? None aftermarket that I'm aware of.
Not a whole lot of silicon firmware out there for aftermarket.
I would love to get an L7. What is your favorite ASIC right now? Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite ASIC right now. So we're Dogecoin maxis. We mine script. That's what me and John do personally in our mine. So obviously we love the L7. If I was to get an L7 right now, it would be the 9050 or the 9300. The 9500 has quality issues, and anything below 9050 also has quality issues, just subpar. It's just a 9050 that couldn't hack it basically, and is at a lower mega hash. So that's my opinion. The price right now, because the word with Hive OS aftermarket firmware is not really hit the mainstream yet. So it's the price is good right now.
Reading my mind.
Yeah, I would assume that at a minimum, the 9050 is going to go up in price, because even though Hive has confirmed for us that the firmware works on all the models that they have, and I'm not saying that the firmware makes the machine that much more efficient. It does in some ways at the wall, but it does make the hash rate more consistent. Versus if you have an L7 right now, you would know, seeing the pool and the machine itself, the hash rate is just up and down roller coaster all the time. So
Yeah.
even though it's an
You drop
efficient
off.
machine, yeah, it's an efficient machine. Hive OS makes it more consistent, and that's what I like it. I'm a fan of Hive anyways, just because getting into the mining scene, I've always used Hive, but it makes it more consistent. Again, I would expect to see that the price of the L7, at least the 9050, because that's the only model they advertise when you go to download the firmware, it may see a hit in the price eventually or soon.
Soon. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. As word spreads and more YouTubers get the word out there about the firmware. I mean, again, Hobbyist Miner, he's got a video coming out at 9 a.m. on Wednesday using one of our L7s. Make sure you check out that video. I'll put a link. There should already be a link in the description down below if you're not subscribed to his channel. Go hit the subscribe button on his channel, hit the notification bell for when that video drops about the L7 review. Once more of these videos come out and people realize, just like the L3, how the L3 had a post run up price, right? The L3s were dead for a long time, and then people like myself started making videos about firmware. The L3 market jumped back up again. We're going to see the same shit happen with the L7. The L7, including myself, we talk shit about the L7. I've seen it drop hash rate completely. In the middle of the night, it will just stop mining. Just stop. No hash rate, no nothing. Hash rate abnormal, dead in the water until I do a power cycle. When people realize that Hive's firmware fixes all that bullshit, it's going to open up the floodgates for the L7s again. So if you have the time, if you have the money, whether you buy it from us or you buy it from somebody else, you buy it used, third hand, I don't care. The L7 is going to have a huge run up just in price alone from now and then the next 6 months or so as this firmware picks up speed.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't worry about any other devices really coming online. I'm sure Bitmain is working on the L9, and they're probably waiting for the bull market. Even though they've been releasing machines left and right during this bear market, pretty crazy. I don't think it's really going to have a huge effect on the market. It probably will be a 12 gigahash machine or 13 gigahash machine. The L9 once it actually does hit. And in addition, I wouldn't worry about this hash blade that's coming out from a particular company, because honestly, I don't think they're going to be able to deliver on it even if they keep going on. So. Yeah, other than that, that's really it. So I see at this point there's 10 of you online, and we're gonna wind down here for as probably in the near future here shortly. If you guys want to put your Polygon address in the comments below, should we do the comments or should I ask them to DM us on Twitter?
I mean, we'll probably keep better track of it if we DM us on Twitter.
Okay. DM us your Polygon wallet address on Twitter, the 10 of you that are on here right now. If you want, no one's forcing you, and I will personally give you 100 CCM token. So go to Twitter, Coastal
And since
Crypto
there's
11.
only 10 of you, here is the latest. I mean, this was a 12-hour sale. It had good results, so we launched it again. And I'm going to say let's do it for another round. Here's the what we just launched. If you were part of the email campaign, you saw this come out. If you're on Twitter, you saw this come out. We're going to continue to try to push these prices if we can and try to get them lower. Well, the L7 firmware is still kind of new. So just kind of throwing that out there. We're going to extend this. Just cross this out. No longer 12 hours, and keep pushing these prices as long as we can. Can I cross that out?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how to adjust markup. There we go. Special offer. Get rid of the 12.
Can we do a rent to own? We can do layaway if that's something you want. We've done that with one of our clients, layaway, and he's acquired quite a few machines from us by doing that. But rent to own, no. Layaway, we can, and we can host it for you too. If you want to facilitate that, you would have to be at retail though, just because with layaway, that one missed payment or you decide to not do anything more, you've wasted our time, and that, time is money.
But the L7 will be the next one to come online for the CCMT token after the S19 test.
DM me on Twitter, Angus, and mention the promo, and I'll get that for you. And basically, we're going to direct invoice for those sales, those prices. So just DM us. You should retitle it to the first time, every time sale.
I'm going to make a promo just for you, Gandalf. First time, every time sale.
I'm going to text it to you right now. First time,
Okay.
every time.
You got it, man. We'll be waiting for you. Oh, man. You did a lot of talking. This was supposed to be an impromptu live stream, and we were just going to cover the L7 bullshit, but we ended up talking for 2 hours.
Yep.
Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. As always, we appreciate you guys. Tune into the Hobbyist Wednesday at 9 a.m. He's be launching an L7 video from our hosted at our farm. And then we're going to be live that following Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon. And then we're going to be live on his channel Thursday at 10 EST. So you got two days almost of coastal crypto BS. First time, every time kind of bullshit.
Yes. I'm going to make sure we mention that if I remember. And to those that are actually looking to buy machines from us, and you DM based on the price, things like that, the next 5 sales that we do, you will be getting a Coastal Crypto banner. So just keep that in mind as well.
5. Let's do 10.
10. The next 10 sales. All right, that's cool. That's a lot of money, but okay. Here, I'm just gonna so you guys can see it. John had modified it a little bit from this picture. This old picture. We don't have our website name on it, but this is it. The guy is not included. So the banner, you get a whole banner. We're doing that our next sales. So again, for the prices that you saw on John's image, DM me or us, I should say. It's normally me on Twitter, and I will set up direct invoice for that. And also, if you guys want to, for those of you that are still here, or when I mentioned earlier, DM us on Twitter, Coastal Crypto 11, your Polygon wallet address, and I will personally send you 100 CCMT token.
Streamlabs is a little slow. There it is. I believe Doge is where it's at. For mining, cost to entry is what holds people back, I think. 100%.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
If you, this probably could be debated, honestly, but if you want to find a project that literally has been consistent through the entire bear market, it has been Doge. Like it's been script mining. Like,
and like Doge and Litecoin together. Yeah.
Doge, yeah. So, dude, Litecoin's a margin of what's actually mined in the thing. Doge is what the machine is doing, but still, yes, it's been the most consistent in our experience. Again, our mine personally, Coastal Crypto, we are script heavy. That's where we started. And again, it's been the most consistent. We've stacked quite a decent bag throughout the bear market for Doge. So,
well, Mark has. I got to pay bills.
Me too, but we're stacking the bags. I always held off since I didn't have a source for repair, but Coastal Crypto, yes. So one, we are looking to hire somebody to start our repair service in-house. However, we do have we have partnerships with other repair companies, and we're in direct communication with Austin Childress, which he is the Bitmain go-to guy here in the States, in my opinion. Soat's opinion as well. So there's 2 sources here vetting him, and we would send it directly to him if we need to The only downside with him is his turn time's a little bit longer because he is helping literally everybody in the States in the scene. But we do have other partners. So if you need it expedited, prices are different, but we know we have a source and we can do some stuff in-house. So there are some things that John can troubleshoot, I can troubleshoot. It just comes down to if it's board related, we have to, send it out to our third-party vendors until we have in-house fully set up.
Yeah, man. All right, guys, if we didn't answer enough of your questions, if you still have more questions, drop a comment down below, hit us over on Twitter, join the member program over on our website. Get a hold of us. I mean, it's Mark and I. We are actually responding to you guys. You're getting one of us. If you want to talk to one of us specifically, just say, "Hey, John," or "Hey, Mark," and we'll reach out to you. We both have access to the website in the live chat on the website. Again, Mark usually handles a lot of the Twitter, but we're always here to help you guys whenever you need it, even if it's just a stupid question or a question that you may think is super simple, but you need some reassurance. Where we're here to help. We're here to troubleshoot. Even if you don't buy shit from us, we want to help the community grow. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this.
Yep.
So,
that reminds me too of what somebody asked. It was like, well, who are we talking to when we go to the website? And I responded, I was like, just some guy in the Middle East we hired. He just does what he's just typing away, responding to all your questions on our website chat. I was joking at the time, but I don't think that person got the joke. But yes, it's me and John. We're here. We're manning the station. Hit us up.
all right, guys, we appreciate you. Oh, we got another one.
Nope.
Hit that like. Yeah.
Hit that like. Thank you,
Please
Gandalf.
All right, guys, we'll take it easy. We'll chat next time. See you Wednesday and see you Thursday again. Later. Peace.